Hey everyone, Ian Higton from Eurogamer here. The following preview is based on an article by Eurogamer's guides editor, Lottie Lynn, which you can read on Eurogamer.net right now. Set in the early 90s, Hell Is Us, the upcoming action-adventure game from developer Rogue Factor, follows Remy on a journey to find his parents in the fictional country of Hadia. The problem? Hadia is a hermit state. The only reason why Remy lives outside of its borders is thanks to his mother smuggling him out when he was 5. Unfortunately, she was caught by the Hadia border control, leaving him alone and eventually entering the Canadian foster system. Her capture and the fact that his father was a blacksmith in a village called Jova are the only things he truly remembers from his short time in Hadia. It's due to this that Remy, despite understanding the rationality behind his parents' actions, wants to reunite with them and learn exactly why they got him out. It's a goal which becomes even more pressing when Hadia falls into a civil war. News of the war is sparse over the 2 years it rages, thanks to Hadia's isolationist policies, but Remy does eventually learn of a United Nations peacekeepers mission heading into the country.
You're not a soldier, are you? Please don't tell anyone I'm here.
Since every Hadia visa he has ever applied for has been rejected, Remy joins the mission knowing it could be his only chance to find his family. Yet, when they arrive at the mountain range surrounding the country, the peacekeepers are refused entry. Desperate at having come close only to be denied again, Remy abandons his post and races down the mountainside into Hadia. This is where Lottie's Gamescom preview of Hell Is Us began, in the foothills of the Hadia Mountains, with Remy standing alongside his abandoned peacekeeper's uniform. Here in the forest, Hadia feels peaceful. Water laps at the riverbank and the wind rustles through the leaves. Not so long into Lottie's journey, Remy reached a destroyed farmhouse. Hiding in its basement sat its owner, an old man hoping that at least one of his sons may still be alive.
They parked their APC just beyond the woods, to the north. Once in the woods, follow the wind chimes. They will lead the way through. I hung them in the trees so my sons would stop getting lost when they were children. Setharus, bless their souls.
For now, however, all Lottie had was the tidbits of information the old man could share, the rough location of Jova, the little details about the Civil War, and, most importantly, the fact that there were soldiers camping in the forest. All Lottie had to do to find them was follow the sound of wind chimes. You see, the big thing about Hell Is Us is that it has abandoned maps and quest markers. You don't even have a compass. Instead, you navigate Hadia by gathering directions or hints about the landscape from the characters you encounter. This can come in the form of a landmark or, in this case, a sound you need to follow. Not only does it fit in with the narrative of Remy infiltrating Hadia with barely any knowledge to guide him, but it adds a layer of fear to your exploration too. You truly don't know what lies ahead of you since there's nothing to outline where a cliff, crater, or other dangers may lie. Hell Is Us doesn't overwhelm you with either the lack of map or minimal recorded information. The opening forest area that Lottie explored has clearly been designed to ease the player into this form of navigation. The forest itself is small, with the wind chimes and later paint marks you follow being close together, but still containing a reward if you decide to go exploring. It gives you a good idea of how traversing larger scale areas might work, especially if the game offers you 2 sets of directions to follow, though in these woods there is only one destination. Lottie found this form of navigation incredibly refreshing, as it felt like she was constantly engaging with the world around her, rather than simply staring at a mini-map or, worse, having a hideous orange arrow dictate her journey. The existence of which she's always found breaks her immersion in a game. After all, GPS is for cowards, and we certainly don't have massive arrows in the sky telling us where to go in real life. We're not living in a Philip K. Dick novel. Yet, at least. In keeping with this form of navigation, the closest thing Hell Is Us has to a quest journal is an investigation hub. Here some, but not all of the information you've gathered is displayed mind map style. Anything missing? Well, I guess you better remember it. The purpose this hub serves is less about recording everything you experience and more about holding some of the puzzle pieces you need to chart Remy's next step across Hadia. Since the details it holds are sparse, it never becomes a distraction from exploring Hadia itself. Instead, you'll quickly open it to check a detail before continuing your travels using the geographical information you've been given, be it a series of landmarks or looking for a building. In the midst of the forest, Lottie found a wounded soldier lying outside of an entrance to what was clearly an ancient ruin. Clambering down the ladder into its depths, Lottie found a place which, at times, felt like a forgotten castle, with rooms lined with grand pillars, yet at others, it felt like an underground prison where people had been left to rot in tiny cells. In some of these crumbling ruins, you'll find people struggling to survive. Perhaps a woman looking for milk for her baby, or some soldiers who'd been separated from their group. But it's not just people you find down there. Oh no. With every step that you take into these deep, dark dungeons, it becomes clear that it's not just a civil war ravaging Hadia. There's something stranger, something darker, and something older than mankind lurking all around the landscape. Lottie admits that the first thing she thought when she saw the supernatural creatures of Hell Is Us was, they remind me of Control. Yet, if Control's hiss are a twisted version of humanity trapped inside brutalist architecture, then the creatures in Hell Is Us embrace a horrific minimalism. At first, their pure white bodies and unnatural stillness may lead you to mistake them for marble statues. That is, until you notice the dark, empty holes where a human face and torso should be. Others have nearly abandoned any sense of humanity altogether, with arms like flattened wings, but always those facial voids remain. There's a simple yet unsettling beauty to their design, but all illusion drops when they spot Remy. Arms begin to jerk in an inhuman fashion, or a ball of energy bursts from their stomach before lunging at you like a demonic claw machine. When this happens, there's only one outcome for Remy, unless you fight back. The joy of Hell Is Us's combat is how it's difficult without ever being punishing. While Lottie was able to pick up the basics quickly during the preview, she still had to do some experimenting whenever she encountered a new creature. She was also able to experience some of the diversity the combat system has to offer, as while Remy first uses a sword, Lottie soon uncovered a pair of axes too. These allowed her to test out a fast-paced combat style, reliant on getting up close and personal with an enemy before quickly dodging their attacks. Remy is also assisted by a drone, which during the preview could be used to distract enemies. Its inclusion adds another aspect to your tactics, since due to its having a cooldown, you have to decide when and where to use it. The drone could divide up the battlefield at the beginning of a fight, or if you get overwhelmed, it could distract a foe while you draw another away to give yourself some breathing space. Together, these two aspects of the combat system created enjoyable battles with rewarding learning curves, and it's going to be interesting to see the full range of weapons when the game is released. Lottie absolutely loved playing Hell Is Us and didn't want to stop playing. It gave her that wonderful moment where you just instantly click with a game and are pulled right into it. The narrative already has Lottie hooked. The human story of a country drowned in war, its people barely surviving, running along a supernatural mystery of unknown horrors emerging from the dark. Alongside this, both the navigation and combat mechanics show excellent promise for when Hell Is Us is released next year. Whether other players will enjoy travelling across Hadia Mapless as much as Lottie did, though, is yet to be seen. Thanks for watching this Hell Is Us preview video. If you'd like to read Lottie's full preview, please head on over to Eurogamer.net right now. Do like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to Eurogamer for almost daily videos about video games, and if you're in the mood for sticking with us, why not check out one of our other video previews that are on screen and clickable right now. Goodbye.